Hey everybody, welcome back to JakeBuilds. Another one in the Zeta line, and perhaps maybe the last of the Zeta kits I actually own until I decide to make another order from NewType. Ignore the screen over here. Today we're doing the MSK-008 Dijeh. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. So hopefully someone smarter than me in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong. But the Dijeh. This is part of the trio of, I guess you could say, mobile suits during that are part of Londo Bell during the events of Zeta Gundam. Of course, you see the Zeta and the Hyakushiki and the Dijeh here. Turns out the Dijeh was actually piloted by Amuro Ray, of all people. Wow. A little bit, I know. But looking at the box here, we have the Dijeh going to combat with the Psycho Gundam MK1 over here. It looks like it's a combination of Zeon, kind of has a Galgoog look to it, a little bit. It looks like it was it's a very strange looking kit, is all I'm gonna say. I think it looks pretty neat. I do think it's kind of funny that it is piloted by Amuro Ray, but we'll get back to that. Actually, we won't get back to that. We're gonna go over to the side of the box here. As you can see, the Dijeh with all of its bits and bobs and its very strange color and body shape. Like I said, this kit is strange, but of course this is like, I don't know. Hey, it actually is in English over here. I just now realized. Yeah, it turns out after 2016, they started putting English, because this kit was actually made in 2018, so after that, they started making English translations for everything, which is pretty neat. Moving over to the side of the box here, the Dijeh, a ground-use MS developed by Karaba, an organization that supported the AUG, I kept saying Londo Bell, this is AUG, for combat within the atmosphere. It was equipped with a ground-based equipment such as jet thrusters on the legs and large heat radiation fins on its back. Its blade antenna is believed to enhance its communication function, but it's said that some units did not equip them. In main armament is a beam rifle and clay bazooka, and also equipped it with a former Principality of... God, that is small text. I'm getting lost. Yeah, I was right. It was piloted by Amuro Ray. Ha. Ha ha. See? I was right for once. Anyway, instead of going through the entire blurb, we have quite a few runners to get through, so let's get started. Starting with runner A1 and A2. These are dark blue, which makes up a good chunk of the kit. Pretty neat. It's hard to tell what goes where, and yeah, because this is a very strange kit. But I do like this very dark blue color a lot. I think it looks neat. Popping that back over the side here, we've got B1 and B2. Now this is a very different shade of green. This is like a sea foam, more of like a Nimoy or Nemo from, of course, part of AUG. Or it was AEUG, sorry, AUAG, I just call it AUG. Pretty neat. I like this color. I think it looks pretty neat. It has like a combination of Zeon and, well, it's mostly just Zeon because of its strange look. Again, Titans and stuff like that, they've had strange looks, but I know this is not a Titan-made suit. Go figure. Moving on over to Runner C here, and the only C runner in this kit, which actually just belongs to the beam rifle and clay bazooka. Of course, not entirely color separated because they're just 3 pieces. These are the same sort of beam rifle and stuff like that you'll see with the high-grade Hyakushiki. Pretty neat. Always, they had very strange beam rifles during the events of Zeta, so... Moving on to D1 and D2, this is that tannish blue, or not tannish, bluish gray from the, if I remember correctly, it was from the Gundam MK2 from the past that we just did a few weeks ago. I don't know. Anyway, it does look like it has some different style of hands, including a widespread open hand, which is a first. Crazy. But yeah, that bluish gray, pretty neat. Stepping on over, like I said, there was a lot of runners in this box. So after D, we've got E. E1 and E2, which is our kind of colored runners. We've got E2, which is molded in a dark red, and E1 that is molded in a bright yellow. That's cool. I do appreciate that a lot of these sets, the Zeta kits so far, are very much color separated. Mostly, unless you get to the actual Zeta Gundam, which that still hasn't made the light of day yet, because it's probably buried somewhere in my video folder. Of course, we have polycaps, and I completely skipped over a couple. We've got polycaps, we have some very rubbery pipes here. These, I believe, are on for the legs. These are neat. This is always good. Instead of just having molded, this is nice and rubbery, as you can tell. It's very squishy. There's G, and then we have F. I'm doing this completely out of order now because I've lost control of my life. F color, the dark gray. Pretty neat. And instead of having the atypical beam rifle or beam sabers, we have the I don't remember what you call these. It's sort of the same thing you see on Go-Googs. I guess you can say Beam Tomfa, if I remember. It's probably on here. Naginata. Yeah, it's the Naginata. Not Zamper. Yeah. Anyway, tossing it out to the side here, that's pretty well it. Of course, the stickers. Smallest sticker sheet yet. I know the MK2 had, like, hardly any stickers. This, I'm not too concerned with. I'll probably apply just about all of these. Maybe. We'll see. But, since there's so little, probably. Anyway, with that being said, let's get building!